Man, what is going on? What is going on? We are back in black in the building. Shout out to everybody out there. Roll call. Shout out to the homegirls. Time is time in Arizona. Shout out to my sisters. You know, been with me since the beginning. Me and Nuke. Shawnee, Philly in the building. Erica, Florida, aka Florida in the building. Shout out to my brothers. James Youngblood, Texas in the building. Shout out to my brother David No Compromise. Georgia is in the building. Shout out to Vegas and all my siblings out there in Vegas. Man, we out here, man, doing what we need to do. Shit, look, let me tell you something. Vegas getting like LA. You better get a Quran and a Bible when you walk around Vegas. So shout out to everybody out there in Vegas handling business. Shout out to the homegirl Jerica, also in Vegas. Excuse me. And shout out to the homegirl Melina in North Carolina, aka North Kakalaka. And again, I'm gonna say shout out to my brother James Youngblood, Texas in the building. And again, my brother Dave from No Compromise. Shout out to him. Georgia's definitely in the building. Man, we got a great one today, but not a good one. Something that's very introspective. The target is us. That's the target. We're going to talk about Dexter Reed. And we're going to talk about that awful shooting that took place in Chicago. So I'm going to try to find some audio on this. So shout out to everybody out there, man. We are in the building. Another day, another 10 cents. If you're at the corporate plantation, this is when you should listen to me. When you're at the corporate plantation, because I'm not here to ignite or incite violence, but I am here to wake you up. That's why this is the No I Don't Know podcast, because we really don't know. I remember this Mormon brother, Dominant Society dude. He was a referee in California, and he was earth science, one of them science teachers, very, very intelligent. And he told me one day, Warren, the more you know, you don't know, son. And he was of the Mormon faith, but he really pushed the envelope to the point where you can kind of tell he was in the religion, but he thought outside of that religious belief. And I said, why you say that? His name was Mr. Draper. And I said, man, why you say that? He said, because in anything that you study, you're going to learn that the more you know, you don't know. I said, so what does that mean? He was like, that you could apply that to religion. You could apply that to science. You could apply that to any belief that you have. And he specifically said belief. And that was the first time I had kind of heard that. This was a long time ago. I was like in the 7th, 8th grade. So the more you know, you don't know. That's why it's the No I Don't Know podcast. Shout out to the homegirls, Roxanne and Nuke. Vegas is still in the building. But let's get it, man. We're going to try to find some footage and see what they're talking about. Let's see if we can find something. It might let us find something and it might not. So we will see. Hey. Yeah, let me cut that down. Yeah, this brother got shot up a bunch of times. But I don't know if they're gonna let us review it. Hold on, let's see. Oh, let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna try to look at the footage and see if they allow us to play it.
Explosive news today with the release.
Okay, hold on for just 1 second. Now, this is out of Chicago. The reason why the title is The Target Is Us, because it's almost like, what cartoon was that when he was putting carrots and onions and everything in the cartoon, in the bowl, in the pot, and he had the fire under there, and I forgot what character it was. Like, man, this is going to be a good dinner. And then he realized he was in the pot too. That's how FBA, not just FBA, that's how black folk are, especially United States of America Incorporated. Sometimes we don't realize we're the target. I'm not just going to talk about this. I look at Ja Morant, all these NBA players are under all these sexual allegations and investigations and volatile misperhapses. Then you got the Diddy shit. Then you got everybody piling on Diddy, right? Then you got how they went after Cuba Gooding Jr. and R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. It should show us as people that dude, you the target, whether you think so or not. That's why you get on these court plantation jobs. Shut the fuck up, do your job, get the fuck on. Don't be in there bumping your gums, talking to the fat man next to the concession stand. Don't be doing none of that sucker shit. Do your job and get the fuck up on. I'm telling you, I've been jotting because I really might just write a book on my life and time at the corporate plantation. And I got a bunch of great stories. I got stories people wouldn't even believe. And I got stories where people wouldn't even believe how we conduct ourselves on the corporate plantation and how we see each other. And every time I have this conversation, shout out to the homegirl Melina from North Carolina. We had this conversation often. Me and Jerica, Vegas, of course, we had that conversation often too. Like, we got to be on the same page. Even if we don't agree with each other and we don't necessarily get along with each other, you keep that behind closed doors. You don't disagree in public, because all the dominant society does is they get the popcorn and they watch the disagreement. I've had those instances with people that I've known, and as I started to read, I learned, like, nah, man, Warren, fall back. Don't be doing no sucker shit like that. Don't be arguing with people, because you become their entertainment. And those are just things that we got to learn and understand. So here, we're going to play this real quick. Let me pause that. Let's see exactly what they are talking about.
A video of a fatal police-involved shooting, and we'll be devoting the entire program tonight to the story. On March 21st, Chicago police officers performed a traffic stop in the 11th Police District near the border of Humboldt Park and Garfield Park. It resulted in the shooting death of 26-year-old Dexter Reed. Just today, the Chicago Office of Police Accountability released the body camera footage from that shooting, where officers apparently fired 96 rounds.
96 rounds. And you mean to tell me we're not the target? Come on, y'all. We got to wake up. It doesn't need to be Black History Month for us to understand that we are the targets. Come on, y'all. We better than that.
And in just a few minutes, we should note we will be hearing from the chief administrator of that agency. Meanwhile, you're about to see a number of video clips from different vantage points of the officers involved in the shooting. And we should note this video is graphic in both images and language. We're showing multiple points of view to give you a more complete representation of the incident. And we'll start with a video taken from a nearby residence. We'll show the entirety of the shooting from that camera. The shots appear to take about 37 to 40 seconds from start to finish. Then we piece together some of the video of police body cams moving from one camera to another in real time. Finally,
basically telling us that they finna bullshit, but let's watch it.
A few clips showing some of the aftermath of that shooting. And again, we should note this footage is graphic. So as mentioned, this is the video from a residence nearby.
Wow. I'm watching it right now, and you got all these police, they running, but then they go back and start shooting. Now, y'all hear all that? That's the police shooting into this car. I mean, let me tell y'all what they doing. It's an execution.
Next, you'll see body camera footage. It's literally
an execution. He was just laying on the ground and still shooting.
Officers who opened fire.
Roll that one down too. Hey, don't roll the window up. Don't roll the window up. Okay. Do not roll the window up. Unlock the doors now. Unlock the doors now.
See?
Unlock the doors now. Open the door now. Open the door now. Open the door now.
And do you hear how amped up they are? It's almost as if they're on steroids. It's almost as if they're on some type of narcotic. It's almost as if they're on cocaine, which is a hell of a drug. Because it's almost, is it fear or is it more adrenaline or is it more, I wanted to kill you anyway, so now you're giving us a reason to kill you? That's what we need to be thinking about.
Shots fired.
And this young man is trying to get out of there, and they still shooting.
Hey, shots fired. Pick it up.
Do y'all hear all those gunshots for one person?
Where's Jay Lewis? You hit? Are you hit? Give me your suit. Let me see you.
We are got 10-1. We're getting an ambulance in route. We got an ambulance en route.
I got you.
It's over there for Nanny Reserve.
Squad, here now. For no officer there.
Don't move. He's on the ground dead, and they talking about don't move. And I think that's a brother. And one of the cops is a brother, so you already know what that means.
Hey, you got us? Watch us. Hey, don't fucking move. Do not fucking move.
He's already dead. He's bleeding out. These people done lost their mind.
And this is the perspective of the officer who was injured in this shooting.
And of course, it's a brother. I want to tell that brother because it's not meant for you to be there for that assassination of that young brother. That's why.
And this is after the shooting ended.
We'll go with that. We'll get him requested, sir.
Yeah, he's dead. Now everybody want to be around the brother acting like they trying to save him.
Guys, get this fire engine out over here right now. Yeah, let's go.
And now they're doing CPR, but they done shot the brother 100 times. See, I'm playing this so people can understand.
You can see at the end there, officers checking on the officer who was wounded and additionally administering CPR to Dexter Reed, the 26-year-old who was killed in that shooting. And there are minutes of footage, but you can go to our website for a...
All right, that's it. We don't need any more. That's all we needed. Okay, so let's have a conversation. Did it really need that? All those shots y'all heard was the police shooting at the young black brother. 26-year-old Dexter Reed. Traffic stop, seatbelt. First of all, what is up with all the aggression? Second of all, brother, and I'm not talking about Dexter Reed, RIP to him, and you know, we gotta be sorry for the family's loss and prayers and thoughts to them. But do y'all understand what goes through the psyche of a black man when they're pulled over by the dominant society, whether a black man's with them or not? I don't think people understand how our palms are sweaty. We have the bubble guts. We don't know whether to get out the car or stay in the car and shit on ourselves because we know it's about to be some bullshit when the dominant society race soldiers pull us over. I don't think anybody even wants to know how that feels because they don't care. I'm not justifying anything, but what I'm saying is these are what I would say our harsh realities in the United States of America Incorporated. And I think until we start to really understand this, this is going to keep happening because there is anti-black racist people in law enforcement. Racism, white supremacy is all embedded in law enforcement. So how do you determine who's who and what's what? And even the black folk that are part of law enforcement, sometimes they are the biggest coons and sambos in the United States of America Incorporated. I mean, worse than Hayward Shepherd, Worse than Steven from Django. Worse than Tell 'Em About the Gunline Balls from Life. Just horrible. And they think they aren't. And these are the things that we have to live with every day. That's why when I do topics, I don't just do topics that everybody's talking about. I do topics that motherfuckers ain't talking about. Because I want you to think. You know, man, Shawnee, Erica, my siblings, David, James Youngblood, Melina, everybody, they know. The people that's been watching this podcast and listening, I feel like I'm just having an intimate conversation with people that I fuck with. And they know. They know too. Because this isn't about clout. Because if it was about clout, I'll just keep doing fucking podcasts on Diddy. We've already talked about Diddy 1,000 different times. Now it's time to move forward and talk about other things that could stimulate our mind and spark a different type of perspective of conversation. That's what it's about. And how are we going to have those conversations if we're not learning? And if we're not learning, how are we going to ever grow, as Dame Dash says? How do you grow if you're not learning? Like, you know what I mean? We have to understand these things. So while you want to fight your brother or your sister, you know, and I'm talking about your fellow brother or sister, you know, you want to look at them through the eyes of the dominant society. This is what they doing to us. That could have been me. That could have been somebody you knew. That could have been somebody's son, nephew, cousin, sister, brother. You don't know. Do we really need to roll call all the names of the people that we've lost to just volatile police, race, soldier violence? So we still ain't learned yet, huh? That's the thing that interests me. When are we going to wake up and learn that the target is us? That's the target. We are the target. X marks the spot. Guess who's X? Us. Until you understand that and come to terms with that, you have no idea where you're going. As Neely Fuller Jr. says it all the time, if you don't understand racism and white supremacy, everything else will confuse you. Remember that, because this shit is not going to change unless we are on code and standing with each other in public and disagreeing with each other in private. Sometimes it's not meant for the dominant society to understand how we feel about each other. When is the last time the dominant society let you know who they were disappointed in besides foundational Black Americans? They're not. Only we will hold each other to a bigger, better standard than we do to them. That's why I asked the question, do we stand with Diddy? Some people are like, fuck that motherfucker, we ain't standing with him. And some people are like, nah, yeah, he a fucked up individual. But let's talk about Harvey Weinstein and Dan Schneider and Brian Peck, who was the child molester on the Nickelodeon set. Let's talk about them. They love it when we want to talk about R. Kelly and talk about this person, talk about that person. But then when we start talking about them, they get offended and be looking at you upside your head. So we have to understand these things. And like I keep telling y'all, I'm going to always have topics that are going to push the envelope so it can stimulate perspectives, a better conversation. We have to. I'm just going to do it in different ways. One minute I'm going to talk about Diddy. Next minute I'm going to talk about Dexter Reed. And the next minute I might talk about something else. It's just research, looking, reading, understanding the perspective. And I'm coming from the perspective of, okay, if that brother did fire a shot, I understand protecting yourself. But protecting yourself and going out there and killing somebody is two different things. And as you heard the audio, I'm going to question everybody again. Do you feel like it was anxiety? Was it fear? Was it a combination of fear, anxiety, and aggression? And to top it off, was it a little bit of anti-Black racism sprinkled on top to fuel that fire so they could shoot and assassinate Dexter Reed? Y'all tell me. Leave your comments. Guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.